view of the Quran, you're going to mention what you learned. And that has nothing to do with your own personal belief and conviction. Fahimna? However, you becoming a doctor in Islamic studies, you have to know everything. You have to have a wide range of knowledge. And the more you know that is incorrect will help you to solidify what is. Everybody got this? Everybody clear on this? When you study this and you go home and you read the books of hadith, you're going to find all different hadith. You say, that's what Shokani was talking about. The time in which the Prophet ﷺ, he stood up, he made 2 rak'ah, he forgot, the companion said this, and then he will say, that's why he said it's not a rukn. Everybody got this? But we do not have the time, and it is not the purpose of our class to mention a hadith and a dalil for everything that he says. What we're trying to do is understand the point and broaden our scope. Everybody got this? One last point before we stop, and that is, Khalid, we have circles. The first circle is the salah. Inside of the salah is the shurut of the salah. Inside of the shurut of the salah is the kayfiyah, how to pray. The wajibat. Another circle, recommended. Another circle, disliked it. Another circle, things that nullify the prayer. And in a small, tiny circle is sujood as-sahw. You cannot properly understand sujood as-sahw until you properly understand the bigger circles. This is recommended, and this is mandatory. This is disliked, and this is something which nullifies the prayer. This is ijma', consensus, and this is khilaf. So these things are all connected to each other. So at the end, when you finish sujood as-sahw, shurut, kayfiyah, jama'ah, then you get a bigger, broader picture. Everybody got this? And bi'idhnillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala, all I ask of you is that you just trust me a little, inshallah. When you read other books, when you sit in other classes, when you pick up things on hadith, it's going to open up your eyes. And the light bulb hopefully comes and say, wow, that's what he was saying. Now I get it now. I see exactly what he meant now. On what is mandatory and what isn't mandatory. And we quote once again, just because we learn the bare minimums, it does not mean that we recommend Muslims to pray the bare minimums. What we're calling to, bi'idhnillah, I hope from Allah, is the sunnah to Nabi alayhi salam. Wajib, not wajib, Abu Hanifa, Ahmed, Shafi'i, Fulan. What is authentic in the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, that is clear, with the correct understanding, that's what we are trying to learn and implement and teach. Everybody understand this? However, the fiqh classroom is different. Just like martial arts. In the dojo, I show you what to do, how to do it. You get into a street fight, what do you want to do? Survival. Anything to get them off you or to do whatever you got to do. Whether it's with the technique you learned in the dojo or not. Everybody understand this? We have theory and then we have reality, practice. So once again, this does not mean that we're encouraging people to pray without raising their hands. La. If my children pray without raising their hands, I would tell them to pray to raise your hands. If somebody I saw came in the masjid and he wasn't praying with a sutra, he didn't have something in front of him, I would tell him to do what? Pray with a sutra. Is it obligatory to pray with a sutra? Is it not? That's a different issue, but that which is best, the sunnah of the Prophet is to pray with without any doubt. And me personally, I believe that a sutra is wajibah. That's my personal opinion. But if I'm teaching a book, my job is to get the words of the author to the student. The author says the sutra is not wajibah, mathalan. It's not my job to convince the student of my specific madhab, what I believe, what I hold. That is incorrect. And this is what so many people do, wallahi. I know you may think I'm just beating you in the head. A lot of people, they do this. They do not explain the speech of the author. There's a book of Tirmidhi, they give you his opinion. That's not proper, yaqi. Teach the people what the author said. What is correct, what's incorrect, what you believe, that is what? That's ba'deen. Fahimna hadha shay? Tayyib. Inshallah, let's take some questions. Hold on, Sheikh. That's a different story.
No.
Ahlan wa sahlan. Different story.
Supposed to be also you just convey your opinion too.
Personal opinion, a question and answer session, that's different. What's the dalil? What I think, that's wrong. Khata kada, there's no problem.
I mean that if somebody wanna convey the author's opinion then the other author opinion, like different opinion, and the end, they also convey his opinion that my opinion is this.
We say, Sheikh, Allah Hafadhakum, is that there are different styles of teaching. There are different ways of teaching. In Islamic University of Medina and the College of Hadith, I had several professors. And alhamdulillah, from Allah's blessings, not bragging or boasting, but alhamdulillah, I had excellent teachers. Well, alhamdulillah, great professors. And not all of them agreed on this. I had some professors, Sheikh, that would teach the book and they would give their views and their opinions in the classroom. And they would say, al-qawl al-rajih, kada wa kada. This is the strongest opinion. The hadith is da'if, kada, kada, kada. Well, alhamdulillah. And then we had other teachers that would refrain from giving their personal views. They would refrain from it. They would explain the hadith, or if it was a fiqh class or seerah or whatever, they say this is qawl awwal, qawl thani, qawl thalith. This is the adillah, this is why, bas. And wallahi, some tulab, they would get angry. And they say, yeah, Shaykh, what is the rajih? What's the strongest view, yeah, Shaykh? What is your view? And a lot of these teachers, they would say, who am I to give you the strongest view? And what is the strongest view? It may be strong to one man and weak to the next. Nisbi, is relative. Fahimtum hadha shay? Al-Bukhari and Muslim, rahimahumullah ta'ala, they differ over hadith. Bukhari says Sahih, Muslim says Da'if. Who am I to come and put myself between these two great mountains? You understand what I'm saying? So there are different styles of teaching. Some ulama, you notice some muftis, when they give fatwa to the people, they never give their own personal opinion, never. And they say what the ulama say. And the other ulama, they say la yajuz, that's haram. You have to tell them personal opinion. So there's different ways of teaching. Sometimes, if we have a question and answer session, then we can go into the khilaf and the adillah, what I feel is kada. But if we're explaining the book, the primary objective is to explain the speech of the author and make sure that we have an understanding of what's going on. Fahimtan, Sheikh? So it's different ways. It's different ways. Wallahu ta'ala. Wadin, Sheikh? Aywa. Wallahu ta'ala alam. Khair, inshallah. And the reason why I do it like this, as I said before, alaykum salam, sometimes, not all of the times, but the reason why we do it like this sometimes is to break the people out of that rigid way of thinking. This is my view, it's my class, and anybody who doesn't pray the way I say pray is mubtadi', innovator. Wallah, it's widespread. We're not talking about Sufiya, we're not talking about Jama'at Tabligh, we're not talking about this group and that group and kada. We're talking about those who attribute themselves to the way of the Salaf. And this is their mindset. We don't brainwash people. We're not trying to brainwash people. We're trying to attach the people to the Kitab and the Sunnah. Through the ways of learning and understanding Kitab and the Sunnah is using these classical texts. We say using them. We're not calling you to know men or know people. As some people say, oh, in his class, he doesn't call the people to the ulama. He doesn't mention the ulama. He doesn't call you to the likes of the ulama. I say, naam, ahsant, you're right. I don't call people to the ulama. And I don't want to call nobody to the ulama. In my classes, I'm trying to call the people to Allah and His Rasul. If the ulama come up and they're mentioned, Ibn Hajar, Fulan, Bin Baz, alhamdulillah. We benefit from their knowledge. But I am not calling no person to no man, except for Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. That's what I believe is correct. If I'm wrong, and hisabi illa ala rabbi. My reckoning is between me and my Lord, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Khair, inshallah. Any other questions, brothers? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Fadal. Question says, with regards to the class, no. Any class. Whether we're teaching a class from Tawheed, Iman, Aqidah, Fiqh, Seerah, whatever, we teach from these books. Oh, la. Any question? Like you said, the classroom is one thing. Alright, well, fadal. Question says, what do the ulama say regarding pictures and taking pictures when it is a means of necessity? such as a business, etc. We say, alhamdulillah, we've spoken on this topic in this masjid before. And we've given you the views of the ulama with regards to images. And we've said, Akhi Ibrahim, that taking images or photos is a mas'ala fiqhiyah, it's mas'ala nazila, it's new. Because in the time of the Rasul ﷺ, they didn't have cameras, phones, whatever the case may be. People drew, people sculpted, people painted, people molded, but they didn't have what? Modern photography. So therefore, if it's a new day issue, a modern day issue, we have to take the old principles, the divine proofs and evidences, and apply them to the modern day way. And the people who do that are those who are ahlul ijtihad, the people who are qualified to do that. Fuqaha, ulama, whatever you want to call them. Those who have the ability to do this. And see, what do they say? So some ulama of today, they say there is no difference between this video camera and painting someone. There's no difference between sculpting something, making a bronze statue, and using your iPhone to take a picture of someone. They say it's all haram, la yajuz. Clear. There are other ulama who say, bal, they say rather, taking a picture or a photograph with this phone is not haram. And the reason why it isn't haram is because the Prophet ﷺ said, those who have the worst punishment on the Day of Judgment are those who imitate Allah's creation, those who try to be like Allah, those who copycat and mimic Allah. They say when you take a picture or a photograph, you're not mimicking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not like you're drawing it, you're just capturing what Allah created. I'm using something modern to keep still what Allah has allowed to move and to walk. So this is their opinion, my opinion, your opinion, this is what those ulama say. They say taking pictures, as long as there isn't nothing that's haram, nudity, something that's impermissible, they say la bas, it's fine, permissible. And they say taking a picture is like a television, or a knife, or a handgun, an automobile. It's based off of what you use it for. You drive a car to a club, they say it's haram. You drive your car to Jum'ah, permissible. You take a picture of your child, of yourself, they say la bas. You take a picture of a woman that you're not married to, who's uncovered, etc., then they say it is. So we have two views of the modern day fuqaha. Clear on that? The next step is those ulama, Abu Hamza, salamullah, who say that it's haram to take pictures. Some of them say, not all of them, and that's a very common mistake. Sheikh Muqbil rahimahullah and others who have the opinion that pictures are haram, they said don't even take them for necessity. They say some ulama who say that it is haram, they say it's okay to take a picture for necessity, such as a passport, such as a driver's license, such as taking pictures of criminals, rapists and murderers, scam artists. We have to have their photograph and their fingerprints to keep the people safe. And that is based off of the major qaida fiqhiyah, in al-mashaqqata tajlibu at-taysir. They say that hardship necessitates facilitation. Hardship, mashaqqa, requires that we make things easy. There's nothing haram at the time of compulsion, durura. I have to make hajj, I have to get a job, I have to make a living. So I have to take a picture for my ID. I have to get insurance. If not, they'll pull me over and take my car. So some of these ulama, they say, even though taking a picture is haram normally, in normal cases, it is permissible at the time of necessity. Everybody clear on this? So we have two main views, and then we have a branch. The first view of the ulama, those who say the pictures are what? Mutlaqan. Absolutely impermissible. The second view, the view of those ulama who say pictures are what? Permissible as long as you don't assent. And then the branch is the view of those ulama who say that even though pictures are haram, they are permissible if necessity. That's what the ulama say about that issue. Their proofs and their evidences, who's right, who's wrong, what do I feel, that's kharij and nataq. Me personally, I don't think it's a necessity to have a video camera. I don't think it's necessity. Is it a benefit? Without a doubt. It's a clear benefit. And before I move on, alaikum salam to Allah, there are some ulama who say that pictures are haram or video cameras are haram. And even though they say if it's pertaining to da'wah, teaching, studying, they also say that you can take images. Now, do I think pictures are haram? We didn't get to that. Video camera or not. And we're not going to get into that right now. My personal opinion is insignificant to the opinion of the ulama. Right? So we said those ulama, some of them, not all of them, we quote again, not all of them, they say if it's haram to take a picture, they say it is permissible to take pictures based off of necessity, or some of them say based off of da'wah, for the benefit, the maslahah of da'wah. Everybody clear on this? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. That's the summary of the issue. Wallahu a'lam. We'll stop here inshallah. Time to pray. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you very much.